In today's episode of Real Talk, I'm going to sit down with Andrew McCague of TWMH Developments. Andrew is a former landscaper turned project manager and construction business owner. I've been working with Andrew now for the past 4 years on his personal development and his business development. And in that time, he's gone from laying patios to running a multi-million-pound construction company. And we get into this episode, we'll talk about his property journey, how his first commercial conversion turned out, and where he is now. This will be a great crack and full of real talk. Thank you, mate. Thanks for coming up.
Quite all right.
Amazing.
Looking forward to it.
Good, mate. For anyone listening or watching, just introduce yourself, tell us about you, what you're up to.
I'm Andrew McCague, Andy Mac. Some people might have seen me on Facebook and YouTube as Andy the Externals Guy. I'm a qualified landscaper by trade, but then had a business doing artificial football pitches for schools, five-a-side football pitches, that type of thing, and then progressed into property, which is how you and I met. Mm-hmm. Currently, I'm working with a gentleman called David Westwood. We're business partners, and I met him through yourself, through being part of the Select, and we are renovating properties down in Surrey, Esher, sort of London, Barnes, southwest London, for ourselves and for private clients with investor support.
Awesome. Now, the purpose of this podcast, you probably guess from its title being Real Talk, is just to share all the pains and struggles and challenges that people don't talk about during that journey, because they want to share this glitzy lifestyle of flying planes and all the rest of it. Yeah. But the truth never comes out, does it?
No, it doesn't.
So, what was that journey like for you? How, going from laying artificial grass to delivering projects of the gravity, is that the right word? That you do now, What's that journey been like?
Well, from the artificial grass, I had done I originally started doing golf greens for private individuals, so just a single green, and then that sort of progressed into doing golf courses. Not so much here in the UK, but in Europe, they don't have the climate for looking after putting greens, so an artificial golf green is much more acceptable, with an artificial tee and then real grass in the middle kind of thing. And so progressing the business from just doing a single one to doing 9 or 18, when it came to property, I realised that the scale of the tasks wasn't really the issue. You just got to keep getting organised. Mm-hmm. And it was COVID actually that stopped my artificial grass business. Schools, who I predominantly worked for then, all had a very different focus and weren't, just literally stopped spending on external sports pitches and things like that. And it's not really, and I used that point in time to reflect on what I was actually doing and what I truly wanted to do. And I love building things and creating things, but I'm getting a bit older, and I didn't want to be spending the rest of my life on my hands and knees. And I could see
when you going to stop.
I could see. Oh, I'm nearly out, and I could see how organising the trades and organising the projects, because of how I had to step up and organise the different aspects of the pitches for schools. Predominantly I was doing the work in half terms and in summer holidays, and you've got a very defined period of time which you've got to get everything done, and you and your mate can't get it done in that time. You need plenty of assistance, and you need to organise a team, you need, organise materials and logistics. And I've always fixed properties for myself, using skilled trades when necessary, but just plodded away adding value to my own properties. So I had an opportunity to buy what was it we started on? We started on it was an old post office, stone post office that someone had tried converting into a little bedsit, maisonette type kind of thing, but unofficially. They hadn't got planning permission, they hadn't got change of use.
And was it listed, if I remember right?
It was listed. It's in a conservation area.
Yeah.
In a conservation area. So I had bought that and then realised the scale of the challenge, and I was like, I need to increase my knowledge around this. And that's when I found yourself, because I knew there must be a process. And when I went to the different builders, everybody wanted to tackle it in a different way. And I was like, I need to increase my knowledge. So that's when I came along and found yourself. And the long and the short of that was you told me to put it in auction, basically, and just take the planning game. Which was great. I made £20,000 on that.
Amazing.
And the actual
from doing fuck all.
It was physically, I would say that it was about 8 days' work. 5 of which were me on site, clean and tidy, emptying the place. There was an old garage that needed taking down just to make the space feel more open. But 3 days of talking to architects, talking to solicitors, talking to the council, getting the planning permission. But although it was only sort of 8 days, it actually took 18 months.
Yeah, because that's the reality.
That's the reality of it. Is it took 18 months in order to get that. So there's no way you could you need multiples of those going on. But it's still a very nice payoff for the amount of effort. And I'm still to this day certain it was the right decision. Definitely. Right move to make.
Do you know what they've done with it now? Because you used to live local to it, didn't you?
Yeah, no, it's still sat. The guy bought it basically as an investment, I think.
And this was 3 years ago now?
3-4 years ago, and he viewed that as he thought he'd got a steal, basically. But I thought he paid fair market rent, and the only way he was going fair market rate, and the only way he was going to get any more from it was by actually developing it out. But it's just slowly deteriorating, crumbling. It's a stone building. Walls are literally this thick.
I mean, maybe that's what they're waiting for it to happen.
Possibly.
Being listed, you don't know.
Possibly, because again, one of the challenges that I'd got my planning permissions, etc. And then as I was talking to the builders, suddenly I was going to need permission to basically take it down and put it back again. That was kind of the way it was looking, and I was just like, I'm not up for that. I haven't got the experience around that. It could so easily become a money pit. And the gentleman I sold it to, he'd done a few developments before. He knew what he was buying. But he's done absolutely nothing to it, and I think he's trying it. He paid 85, I think, if I remember right, and he's got it on for about 120 now.
Oh, he's got it on the market then?
Yeah, he was. I don't know if it's actually live, but it was on the market for like 120.
Oh, right,
after doing nothing to it for 2 years. So
he's just hoping the market's gone up, I guess.
Yeah.
Which it did, didn't it? During COVID, it went crazy.
It did, but it was literally more or less at the start of COVID, I think, when I sold it to him, and then everything went up, and he was like, "Oh, have I missed a bit of a trick?" But definitely not.
No, you're out, and you've made some money.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that on? I can't even do the maths. Percentage return. 65
so,
you paid, didn't you?
So
I made 20.
Yeah.
It's decent.
Yeah, it is.
That's the maths.
Yeah.
It's
third, isn't it?
Yeah. 33.33%.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
33%. Yeah, that's what.
That's decent.
That's good. That.
Yeah, it's decent.
And then while that was all going through, we did I bought a listed, again, conservation area, cottage, terrace, mid-terrace, but I had the flying freehold above the passageway, which gave me, in relation to everyone else, I had a bathroom upstairs and another bedroom. And we didn't quite go back to brick, but actually you helped me source that one. So we did a full renovation on that, and I turned that into serviced accommodation with the intention of not managing it myself, which we didn't, but I put a bit of time and effort into the garden, and it's really nice. But not managing it yourself in Barton, what it demanded, it wasn't really worth it.
You mean managing the SA?
Yes.
The service accommodation.
Managing the SA, we weren't. We wanted a completely hands-off approach. So I found one of these pass the keys type kind of companies.
Yeah.
And they looked after everything for us, but they predominantly specialised in the contractor market. And my gut feeling is they didn't really make an awful lot of effort around finding the holiday attracting the holiday market, which, Barton upon Humber, it's the start of the Viking Way, so you'd think that there might be a few people wanting to do that, and weddings and so on. I saw that there could be a bit of a need, but there was never, I think you could count on one hand the number of people who weren't contractors who stayed there. So consequently, you're getting Monday through to Friday morning.
Yeah.
Occasionally, the company might pay for the lads for a 2-week period, so they don't have to clear their gear out of a weekend. But that was few and far between. So by the time you paid your management fees and your linen and the bills, it was better than having it as an AST, as a regular rental, but only just.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford for my. I still had some money, although I still had money tied up in that. Despite putting a mortgage on it, I still had, I think 25,000 left in there. It wasn't giving me a good enough return, so I decided, right, we'll sell that. So again, sold that as a. I didn't sell it as a, because I wasn't managing the actual property let. I couldn't particularly sell it as a business. The photographs that were of the place weren't mine. The contacts who've been using the property on a regular basis, they weren't mine. I didn't know anything about them, so I could only sell it as a building that is set up for service accommodation.
Right.
So possibly missed a bit of a trick there, but it sold. Sold it to a gentleman who promised me and assured me that it would be done within 3 weeks. He was that urgent and that desperate to do it. It would be done in 3 weeks.
How long did it actually take?
It took 9 months.
Oh, fucking hell. I didn't realise it was that long.
Yeah, it was literally that long.
Yeah.
It took 9 months for this gentleman to get on, and.
But it's all done now.
It's all done now. All gone, and I'm still happy again with the. I think I made about 15,000 on that. Again, when you take into consideration the refurb and my time and effort in the refurb as well, which I know a lot of people don't do, but you definitely need to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And so I still did all right out of that one.
Yeah, good.
Every time making a little bit of something.
Yeah.
And then through my network, I just telling people what you do. Again, it's something which you regularly post about and say you just got. A gentleman came to me. It was perfect timing. I was literally just finishing the refurb on Hollydyke, my essay. So I was able to bring them round and show them what I wanted to do. And I thought he was looking for a partner to help finish off a property. He'd been doing it 10 years, and they were intending it was. They're both retired couple. I want to say he's in his early 80s, and for 10 years he'd been doing up this property in Scorby, a bungalow, nice residential street. And the neighbours were just absolutely sick of it. He was getting letters from the council because the weeds in the garden were up here. And I thought he wanted to joint venture on it, but as it turns out, no, he just wanted it down the road. And I said, well, it's unmortgageable. It's got no kitchen, no bathroom. The screed wasn't quite finished, if you remember. Again, you had a good look around that place. And again, initially it looked like it could be a really sweet deal with vendor finance. But his solicitor, again, people talk about all these options and everything, and you tell it, and the person's on board, but then they go away to the solicitor and they get talked out of it.
Yeah, I've just said that myself.
They get talked out of it. So solicitor talked him out of it. Now I just want a straight sale. So managed to raise the finance to buy that, and I bought that for 200, which was a cracking price. Realistic again, but he himself he'd spent 200 already doing the place. Although they inherited the property, he'd been right through it with underfloor heating, new windows, new roof, extending it in various ways. It was very much designed for them though. So I got an architect involved, but only for a few £100, and went back to building control and said, I want to make these changes. They signed off on it. And so I put an ensuite in. I opened up the lounge dining room into a huge, big kitchen diner. And that took me, I think physical work was around about 5 months in order to do that. And we moved into it for a short while.
Yeah, it was a stunning job.
Yeah, but sadly the space from our previous property, us moving there, we lost the room, and it was just, we just found ourselves too much on top of each other.
Yeah.
But it gave me the profit from that, gave me the ability to move to our forever home, which is absolutely stunning. Beautiful place out at Barton upon Humber.
Yeah.
4 acres. Yeah, it's really special.
Yeah, amazing.
Really, really special. Yeah, so that's where we've got to so far. And since I finished the place at Scorby, I obviously during that time Dave joined the Select, and we developed a relationship. He was having various struggles, trials and tribulations with trades and with different people, and that's not really his skill set. His skill set is in finding properties, finding deals, and finding investors. And I was struggling a bit once I'd done Scorby to find something up in North Lincolnshire that stacked, because as you know, up here kitchen extensions work, and although people do loft conversions, correct me if you think different, but if people do loft conversions, it's for their own benefit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You spend 12 grand on a loft conversion, 15 grand on a loft conversion, but you're only adding 10, 12. So as a developer, you can't do that piece of work. The only thing that works for us, because of the square foot value, is a decent kitchen extension. So therefore the pool of properties that you can find to kind of work on and renovate, it's tricky. It's tricky, but down south, down in London, it all works. Whatever you want to do, you can find a way to add value. It's just about buying it right. The price point's a lot higher, but the price per square foot of those properties is so significantly more.
Yeah, your entry point's higher, but so is your exit.
Yeah. And because the gain is more significant, you aren't quite squeezed on your... if you have to give a 10 grand, 20 grand reduction.
It's really interesting that, isn't it? Because you see so many, I know so many London landlords, London developers that come up north because the entry price is so much lower.
Yeah.
That's a different strategy. They're building a rental.
I was going to say they're building to keep, I would suggest, whereas both Dave and I at the moment are looking to increase our pot so that we can keep.
And here we are, us northerners going down to London, they must think we're mental.
Yeah, because the property industry's changed, I think, since when I first started with you. It was most definitely, and other people, the courses and the information that you sell are definitely around the refurbishment process and looking after trades and being compliant and all those things. Whereas other property trainers, they're more about strategy.
Yeah.
And they were banging on about strategy that is that you're able to buy a property and increase its value and basically get a free property, get your money out and go again.
Yeah.
And so for a long time when I first joined you, that was the type of thing that I was looking for. We pretty much did it on Hollydyke, that terrace in Barton upon Humber. But there, the rental value, 550?
Yeah, tops.
At tops. Probably when I actually did that back then, you're probably near a 450, 500 would have been pushing it.
Yeah, I was getting 420 for the one next door.
Yeah. So it's just not. It just wasn't interesting. It wasn't. You just need so. You have to. It's going to take you so long, and you have a boiler go wrong at that kind of price point in the year. That's basically a year's profit.
Yeah. People don't talk about that, though, do they?
No, they don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So it's just not for me at this point in time. So and trying to find a property that you can renovate and get your money out. It's just not a thing, and hasn't been a thing for the past 3 or 4 years. I think they are there.
Yeah. They're harder to find, aren't they?
They're a lot harder. The unicorns. Whereas just previous to that, as I was sort of researching and thinking about coming into property, it was still definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Definitely a thing.
Yeah.
The market's changed. It's shifted, a bit like it's shifted now. in some ways, it's a brave person that takes on a renovation, a flip, at the moment with the slight uncertainty around exit prices. At the moment, you need to be buying really right, I think. You need to be getting a good discount in order to then be assured that your exit is still going to be good. So again, we're doing this similar. Most people now, well, I say most people, it's an assumption. It seems that a lot of people are looking to renovate and hold again, and being prepared to leave a little bit of capital in the deal still, with the reassurance that in the next few years, the prices will pick up again, the value will increase. Yeah. It'll erode their debt, and they'll be able to then get their money out to go again, and to look to do multiple units. Rather than doing just a single mid-terrace or a flat or a single house.
Yeah, see, I think like just touching and expanding on what you're saying there is, people are always on the lookout for that home run, for that one deal that's going to make them a millionaire, or that one flip this one's going to be an 8-figure return, 7-figure return on this one deal. Like this is the stuff, the dreams that I see getting peddled, and you might get one in a lifetime. Yeah. You can't build a business around that. No. But people are like, I'm not going to do this one because the big one's around the corner. Yeah. And it never, for that to come around and you wait for it, you could have missed out on God knows how many other opportunities.
It's the time it takes as well to do anything. Yeah. Dave and I have bought a property that initially we was looking at just the flip, and when estate agent was late, as the estate agents always are. So while Dave and I were waiting, I said, let's have a little walk up and down the street. So as we walked down the street, there was 66, there was 68, and then there was 68A. And it's like, Dave, there's 3 there. And he's like, so there is, and I says, well, they've stuck one on the end. So that suddenly prompted us to go back to ours, a little bit further up the road, and look, and sure enough, we figured there was enough space to put another one on the side of ours. So we was like,
that's the one that's in planning now.
Yeah, that's the one that's in planning now, and that's again, this is what I'm going to get to, is that the real talk of this is that we didn't go with an architect, we went with a planning consultant, which again might have been a little mistake of ours. But what we did was we saw who had got the planning permissions and who'd done the designs for the one down the road, went on the planning portal, because although it's like 6 years old, it's still there. So we went and contacted that gentleman, and we said, that house you did down there, well, we want a right-hand version of that. And he was like, okay, but he missed a couple of the reports that the council would want in order to rubber stamp it, and consequently the council let it go all the way to near enough when they're going to make a decision, and then they stick their hand up and say, oh,
this is missing.
This basic flood risk assessment that you gave us, we need the advanced one because of X, Y and Z. And it's like, to be fair to the guy, it's possibly that rules have changed a bit in the last 6 years, and but he probably never read it, what exactly they needed. And Dave and I don't know. That's why we employ these experts to do it. So that report needs doing. But in order to get the report, you need to go to the water authorities or whatever, and they have got a 20-day period. And you're like, okay, 20 days isn't so bad, but no, it's 20 working days. So that's actually a month.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. So you've touched on it a couple of times now, and I want to jump into a bit of meat. You've mentioned a couple of times working with trades, and like us, you and I and my team and your team of project managers.
Yeah.
Like that has to be. I've literally this morning just come off the phone to a client with this same challenge, and I don't believe that customers, clients, put enough value in what a project manager actually does and how much fucking pain they have to go through. Yeah, babysitting, herding cats. Like, no one wants to say this out loud because they don't want to piss the tradies off. But do you know what? Most of them, they're a fucking nightmare. Like, why can't people just do what they said they would?
Turn up when they say they're going to turn up.
Turn up when you say when you're going to turn up. Do the fucking work that I've contracted you to fucking do. Finish when you said you would fucking finish, and let me pay you in accordance with them 3 things.
Follow the structural engineer's drawing.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is
design.
that? That's it. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to make my own thing up.
I've been doing this for years. Yeah. We don't need to do it like that.
I've been doing it 35 years. Like, just do what the fucking drawing says.
Yeah.
So when it comes to working with trades and getting trades in on your projects, like I've seen you and David operate, and the levels of professionalism that you put out, and the professional approach to a project, the way you've engaged with your client to win the work. Like, we're talking about some serious money with some of your customers. Yeah. We're paying you a serious chunk of change.
Yep.
For you to then, like, try and, I don't know what the word is it filter through, to try and take that level of professionalism and impose, that's the right word, impose that upon your supply chain, upon the subbies, that's fucking hard, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But what immediately helps and starts is the way that your site's set up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. It's massive. That immediate positioning piece.
That immediate positioning piece. When those guys walk in or about to walk on site, and the gate's locked, they need physically, they have to ring you, and you have to go greet them, and you're like, all right, I don't got any hard hats and boots. And they're in my bag. All right, well, let's slip them on now then.
Yeah, protect your feet in your bag mush.
Yeah. So in you come, and they come into the welfare area where there's microwave, tea, coffee, a board with all the signage on it, and everything that you teach us to do. And right, lads, you sit down there. I know you're desperate to get started, but I'm just going to give you a little induction, tell you all about the site, tell you about clean and tidy, and whether it's me or my site manager runs through that with them. It instantly brings up the lads who aren't used to doing it. There are them that kick back and don't want to wear hard hats and this, that, and the other. But when everyone else is on site already, if you can get that culture going, it really sort of helps. But the bottom line is that you've got to kiss some frogs.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's the only way to build your supply chain and it's the years, the time and effort of doing that. I mean, again, you give us a really good approach of how to find trades, and it's a bit, it's the same as employing somebody for an office.
Yeah, totally.
They can, in that period of time when you can ring up about their references, or you can, then they come and sit down, and you chat to them on the phone first of all, and you interview them on the phone. Yep, they sound all right, let's get them in. And in they come, and they present really well, and you're like, great. And so everybody starts, and then a week later you're like, oh my God, how is this person actually like this when it says this about them? And then it's about having the courage to get on, and I've failed at this recently, is to get on and get them off. If it's not working out, if you've got your doubts, you need to be factual. You need to give them the opportunity to rectify what the hell's going wrong, or that they haven't got enough lads on site, or whatever the challenge might be. The lads on site haven't got the skills, knowledge and experience to actually do what they're frigging there to do. One of my projects recently, 2 guys were sent along to put the steels in. It took 6 of us to get these steels upstairs. How these 2 lads on their own were ever meant to stand a chance of doing it. And
what do you think it is? What do you think the reasoning is around? Because this is not just a one-off. This is really, really common.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Do you think it's them underestimating? Do you think it's them underestimating what's required, or do you think it's more of a let's win the job and then we'll do the bare minimum to get paid? Or do you think it's something else?
I think it's let's win the job and we'll figure it out. But then as they start figuring it out, they realise they're overcommitted and they're a bit stretched.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, Dave and I are a bit stretched at the minute.
Yeah.
Because we had several projects in the pipeline, and we've got it all nicely spread out.
But this
person's kicking it. This person here is delaying it, and all of a sudden these projects are all squishing up a bit.
Yeah, the difference being, you will do what's needed.
Yes.
To get that.
Yes.
To get that moving, you won't let people down.
Yeah, no. No.
Whereas
they
like,
quite happily.
Yeah, and I don't want to generalise every contractor with this, but there's so many that would just go, well, fuck it, I'll just go on another job, the one that's going to pay me. We just had this with a painting contractor on one of our projects. So he quoted us would have been about 4 weeks ago, 1,700 quid to whitewash a house out, which was cheap. Didn't go anywhere else for another quote. I said, yeah, when can you start? 2 weeks' time. He said, I'll start. Brilliant. So contracted with him. Turns up on the day he said he would, and he gets into it and he starts all the prep. He finishes after about 3 days of prep, filling and
because as you said that, I thought that was the bit that I thought he was going to cut out.
No, and he
sort of skimp on that side of it.
He got to the end of it, and Chris was like, "He's fucking turning out a good job here."
Yeah.
And he misquoted, I would say, about 50% of the property.
Yeah.
Then on day 7, he didn't show in. And we were like, "Where is he?" So Chris rang him, and no answer. Rang him again, no answer. Texting him, emailing him.
Because you don't know if they're ill or...
Yeah, are you okay? Have you had an accident or whatever?
Do you need us to help?
No answer or anything. Anyway, 2 weeks has gone by now.
Oh my God.
And we're like, where is he? Well, I don't know. And Chris, we'll need to terminate.
That house is nearly finished.
Notice. It's right at the final hour.
So client,
So anyway, we find out that this painter has realised he's underpriced it.
Yeah.
Bear in mind he's like a week into it, 7 days into it, and he's just walked away.
Yeah.
Because he's underpriced it. Rather than
come back to you,
getting it over, coming back and saying, look, I need another 100 quid or 200 quid or can you give me a labourer or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
But just walking off,
leaving
all of that money on the job for someone else to finish.
Do you think that was because, he has left all that money on the job?
Yeah, because he won't get anything now.
No, but do you think that's because you went sort of one-man band? Did you kind of know? Should you, in hindsight, have thought, well, actually, he's bound to have underpriced this? But you can't really see.
It's a good point.
And therefore, you kind of, knew that this could potentially happen.
Well, that is a really good point. Truth be told, he presented well.
Yeah.
He was recommended.
It could have been a thing that he could do it for that price. It could have been a thing.
Yeah.
You'd have expected maybe he's missed a few bits with the filling, and it would have been a very close judgment call, I would guess, on the quality that he turns out. It was a
shit polishing job. It weren't new plaster. It was existing walls. Right. So it was literally just white it out.
Yeah. Because I've just had again really good specification that I gave to a set of plumbers for one of the properties we're doing in Barnes. We've got a single-storey rear extension and a loft conversion. The existing heating system is staying pretty much intact, but we're having new radiators. But we've got new kitchen and lighting associated with that, and we've got the loft conversion, and we're redoing the existing bathroom. So there's quite a bit of plumbing work. But we give the specification to a quantity surveyor. It wasn't a full... the client hadn't given us a full specification, so it was a provisional sum, but you kind of know roughly where you need to be. And professional plumbing firm that I've used a couple of times before, but still building a relationship. But the reason why I've gone to them is they are multi-trade. They are not one man and his mate. They've got 4 vans that go out, and I want to say that they've got 6-7 lads that are on the firm. So they're that medium-sized business that you've taught us, and that I totally appreciate why you go to them. You pay a bit more than you will your one-man bands, but there's the level of professional. There's the girl in the office. There's someone always answering the phone. There's nobody not picking the phone up to answer your call when you say the guy's running late, whatever. You're getting answers every time. And they came in at 4.5 for this, which more or less fell in line with what I was expecting. But the guy turned up to do the job, and I mean, I've got as part of the specification, I've got the written specification, I've got drawings from, they're buying a lot of the gear from Homebase, funnily enough, but I've got every single item on a spreadsheet that they can click and actually see the product. I've done the drawings showing pipe centres for sinks, radiators, where the shower is, the shower integrated shower controls, what height they need to be. Everything is there for those guys to see. Guy turns up to start doing the work with his mate. Marcus inducts him and starts showing him what it is that they're going to be doing. And he's like, "Nah, I'm not here to do that, mate. There's not a chance I'm doing that in 7 days. Not a prayer." What? And second fix the bathroom as well? And Marcus is like, "Yeah." And so he's on the phone to her, and anyway, they've totally and utterly misquoted. Totally and utterly misquoted. And they've now come back to me at 9. They've doubled it.
Yeah.
Doubled it. But that, yeah, and I'm right in the mire. We're meant to be certain in the.
How do you genuinely feel when? Because this is in my corporate days, I was a bastard. Like if someone came to me and said, "Paul, I've misquoted this," I don't give a fuck. Get it done. That's your quote. Get it done.
Well,
but now being the difference, then I was an employee.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for them to.
So really, I was acting in the interests of my employer. However, I had no other incentive to help the subby out.
No.
And I think that's where I learned my empathy when I left that. But now as a business owner, it's very different dynamic.
But also as an employee, you aren't trying to find those contractors. It's somebody else's
I get given it. Yeah, that's right.
You just get given the contractors to use and abuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like, well, I've still yet to have sod's law again. The guy who came to site and visited site, unfortunately, he's in hospital at the minute.
Yeah.
Not very well.
So how does it feel to you genuinely when you hear that back? Like, I've misquoted this, I need to reprice it.
Yeah.
After you've contracted on a price.
Yeah.
Like, how does it feel?
It's sickening.
Yeah,
it's absolutely awful. Now, I know the kind of thing that's potentially going to save my arse in all of this is that it was a provisional sum that I gave to the client. Ultimately, the client did not have the specification to give me.
So there is some wiggle room there.
So there is going to be some wiggle room there. Now, it's going to be a massive conversation with the client because it's not just... I've had this, I've quickly given it to another set of plumbers and they've come in at about the same number. And I didn't try steering the bloke who was on site to, "You've got to meet this number, mate, in order to get the work."
Yeah.
I didn't, because again, that's a bit of a falsehood.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have minded.
But sometimes needed.
If they sometimes needed, absolutely. But if they turned up and said, "Oh, Andy, we've forgotten the gas feed for the hob," well, okay. Tell me what the pipe is and you can fit it for free. We'll get there. I'm not going to see you out of pocket, but you can we'll work together. But
you know what? Funnily enough, you're just saying that about the plumber. The second painter that's come in and picked up the slack from this other painter, he was £100 more, and he's coming from Lincoln, so.
And he's got half the job finished already.
Well, you say finished. You know what painters are like. Well, that one's. He's done his prep, but it's not good enough. I'm gonna have to do it again. Get all that.
Yeah.
So, like this other guy's come in and said, "I'll do it for 1,800." When the initial was 1,700. So just to flick back to your point of, did you know it was too cheap? I just felt it was cheap when I got it.
Yeah.
And maybe in hindsight, of course, I should have gone, "Well, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you can do it for that?" But is that an invite then for him to just put the price up anyway?
Yeah, well, I get...
It's tough, isn't it?
It is tough. It is tough because you, as project managers, we've already priced it from our experience, or like Dave and I do on bigger projects. There's a set of drawings, Mr. QS. Get on, figure that out. Because it's we ain't got time to be doing that. There's someone else's skills, knowledge. They can get on and figure that. And then it's about trusting and reading it really carefully, because quite often they price it, but they feel like they haven't quite got all the detail from the client. And somewhere in this list of stuff is the exclusion of this staircase. Because they haven't really specified what that staircase is. No, but it's just. And then if you miss that detail, that can really hurt you.
So going from just flicking back to when you introduced yourself at the beginning, going from where you've come from laying plastic grass as my daughter calls you, like to where you are today. What sort of refurbishment value have you got in progress right now? If you pulled everything together, What's the revenue of what's in progress right now?
Pulled everything together right now. We've got physical to the business. We've got £750,000 worth
In progress.
That's
phenomenal.
value to the business, and that's in it. We've gone from last year at this time. We just finished our first flat refurb that was about £60,000 worth of value to the company.
So you've more than 10x.
Yeah.
So it's 12 extra business in 12 months.
Yeah.
That's
We're going to
incredible.
and we've got another couple of projects coming online at the start of next year. So coupled with, fingers crossed, touch wood, we'll be getting Farm Road planning permission through.
Mhm.
We will be working on property of round about the value of £6.5 million worth.
So you're going to 10x again next year.
Yeah, well, it's as in the real estate
Yeah.
is worth that.
Yeah. So
That's
what about
that's not
so what about
turnover of the
spend?
business.
What about
Yeah, the spend. Yeah, it's a little hard to say really, because we're now, as a business, we have decided that we want to have myself, Dave, project manager. We've got a VA out in the Philippines that is an absolute godsend, and we want to have 4 projects on the go at once.
Yeah, nice.
Basically.
Nice. So what's the growth plans? So what's coming for Andy and Dave for?
It's going to be
2024.
It's going to be turning from doing other people's projects to doing our own projects.
Yeah.
And it's going to be increasing the value. Like I say, we were starting out on flats of £70,000 value of the refurb, but for me and Dave and a VA, that's not. You need a lot of those type of projects in order to be sustainable. But the headaches that you have on each of those sites, when you're are still the same as if
Trades.
Trades, yeah. The plumber, the plasterer, the electrician, the headaches that you have with resolving the issues and that they have and the questions that they need answering are the same as they are on the £180,000 refurb that we're doing on the house in Barnes at the minute, that we will be doing on the other projects in Mayfair and Angel next year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What excites you the most about 2024?
It's
Life or business?
life or business, yeah. Well, I've come here and we've talked a lot of business. I'm looking forward to sorting my pond out at home. It's the house doesn't need any renovating, thankfully. It needs a lick of paint, but the garden, the gentleman let the garden completely go. And being a landscaper, that's one of the things that really attracted me to that property. So I'm looking forward to developing the business in such a way where it functions for a nice part of the week without me being totally present, and that I'll be able to spend a bit more time at home.
Yeah.
A bit more leisure time with the family, because I've worked away. It's tough, but I've worked away for about 18 years away from the family, on and off in different parts of the world and different stints.
What's the one thing that's going to allow you to do that? So it's all well and good saying I'm just going to step out of the business.
It is the shift from relying completely on the projects to generate our income to having a residual income, repeat income coming from holding of our own, be it HMOs or flats, or the thing that Dave is hard looking for at the minute is a commercial to residential. Something that we can do under PD, that we don't need to go to planning permission for, something we can, 3 units, 4 units, something like that.
Down south.
Yeah. Again, so the rental income the numbers will be nice up there, and if we can find something that once all the bills are paid and once the mortgage is paid, sort of returns us £1,500 a month. That's the equivalent to managing half of a project, a week sort of thing. It's just going to take the pressure off a bit. But you still can't beat the the nice cash injection that you get from a flip down there. You really can't. We're looking to, once we get planning permission and through it, but again, planning permission for this place, we've got it on a bridge. So this mistake that this guy made with these reports,
it's going to cost.
It's going to cost. It is going to cost. And thankfully we bought well, and we're in it now. We couldn't flip this property now. We'd be upside down. We have to get planning permission and
see it through.
And see it through to complete.
Yeah.
We might be able to sell it with planning gain. Again, the strategy that we've got is that whenever we reach a strategic point in the overall plan, that we review it. But I think because of the team of guys that I've now built, I've got a cracking builder who has got a roofer, and I'm 99% sure that we'll just hand the property over to him and manage him and see him through the process, but he'll give me a turnkey solution for a watertight building, and then I'll get my sparks and my plumber in and plasterer, and we'll finish it off from them giving us and we're looking at round about a 6-month build for that in total, so we'll get it marketed before it's actually finished, with the aim to selling it beforehand is always nice, and that way. Yeah.
And I'll assume that there's going to be opportunities for people to invest in that as well.
Of course.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. We're always looking for people to join us, whether it be just purely want hands-off return on their money, and also we have people who want to learn about the process.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak openly about, and again, just being real. I've invested in your project before and had great returns off them, and so's my dad. Actually, my dad's a little bit still worried that he's going to get paid back, which is a really bizarre thing. And he met David recently at a do we were having, and they were having a conversation, and David said to my dad, "Oh, we've nearly finished the project that you invested in." And my dad came straight over to me after and he went, "He's not going to pay me back, is he? Like, I'm enjoying that money that comes in every month." And in fact, this month, just gone, Dave paid him twice. So he got his interest payment twice. And my dad rang me and said, "What's he doing that for? He's not sending me this money back, is he? This is not him sending it back in bits."
I'll have a word with Dave, paid him twice.
Yeah, he did, yeah. I let Dave know, and he's going to... he said, "Mate," tell him to keep it as a Christmas present. So I probably shouldn't tell you that either.
No, you shouldn't tell me that either.
That's just the measure of the guy, isn't it? So, yeah. No, it's been, mate, thanks for coming up, and it's been great to talk to you.
I've really enjoyed it.
For the last, what we've been, and that must be an hour, haven't we? Yeah, good solid hour. Mate, can't wait to see what you do in
I'm looking forward to it.
2024 and beyond.
Yeah.
So, for anybody listening, how can they get in touch with you?
The TWMH Developments on Facebook, or Andy the Externals guy on Facebook. We're also on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah.
Cool, mate. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
You're welcome, mate.
Thanks for sticking around till the end. All the social handles from both of us are below. I'll see you in the next one.